demonstration, and I would so love to share that experience with you. For right now, we're going to focus on this moment. And so I want you to sit up really tall. Just like find your space in your body. That's it. It doesn't take much. Just pull the belly button to the spine and allow that to support you. That's it. Close your eyes and tune into your breath. It's amazing how when we start just closing our eyes and tuning into the breath, how our attention goes inward. It's the first element of our yoga practice, is to come into present time and connect with ourselves. And the next part that's really important is that we make a commitment to have no judgments about what we find when we go in. Just meet yourself exactly where you are and know that you're getting an education. If we don't look at where our lives are, how can we change? And every experience that we have in our lives, every single one, good and bad, somehow has come together in the right order and put us right here in this park this morning. And so let's just be here. Let's start to rock a little forward and back as if you were doing cat-cow. Put your palms down, face down on your knees. Yeah, so when your chest comes forward, you can pull back on the knees and extend the spine upward. That's your inhale. And then as you pull back, you can hold the knees and tuck the tailbone under and really kind of stretch your back out. Open the shoulder blades, tuck the tailbone. Yeah, so start to move that a little bit bigger. So we inhale, we pull the chest through, and then we exhale and round and pull the belly to the spine. I'm just going to rock a little bit forward and back. There you go. Take one more. I think we're just starting to get it. Some of us not as coordinated as others, right? And so I want you to feel that full range of motion in your spine, and I want you to create a little more fluidity. So this movement is more from the middle than from the neck. Yeah. And then start to make it a little more circular. Start to go around. Start to feel like your pelvis is like a bowl, and you're just kind of moving around in that space. The spine kind of swirls, and the head can follow. And like, take some of the stiffness out of your shoulders. Yeah. Like, just get a little bit loosey-goosey there, and just don't be afraid to move. Make it kind of big. And your eyes are closed, so you can even make it a little sloppy feeling. Like, there's just no perfect way to do it. Just kind of moving around and just noticing where you might be a little stiff from sleeping. That's it. And then just change the direction. Start going the other way. It might feel a little awkward at first, but then you'll get it. And we're just going to keep moving, breathing, noticing. Just a great way to introduce the movement. And if you would, just settle into the center. Go ahead and reach your arms up. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale, put your right hand down on the floor and take a stretch over to the right side. As you stretch to the right, can you push your right hand into the floor so your left sit bone goes down and the left side body gets a little bigger? That's it. Tip your ears back, please. Open your heart and look up toward the sky. And then on your next inhalation, rise back up. Reach up with the right arm, reach up with the left arm, and then take it to the other side. Left arm goes down and we stretch to the left. And I want you to use the right hand to push your right hip down. Make sure the right hip stays down in the mat. Everybody looks good. Let your head back a little bit. Can you widen the collarbones? Maybe even open your eyes. Look up at your own hand. That's it. Feel how you can extend your spine by just a new level of attention. And then belly to the spine with another inhale. Let's rise back up to center. And then bring your hands right to your heart. Good. Take a moment. What do you need out of your yoga today? What do you want from your yoga today? What are you here to create with this time, with this movement, with this consciousness? When you're clear about why you're here, and it doesn't have to be earth-shattering, it could just be that you're curious. You never did yoga before. It could be that you need to get rid of something you've been carrying around. It could be that you're nursing an injury and you're trying to figure out your way around it, how to navigate that. Maybe you just want to spend an hour being nice to yourself. When you're clear, go ahead, release your hands. Put them down on the top of the mat and open your body into downward facing dog. And I'm going to go back to that idea of making space. Do you remember when we first sat and I said, can you just lengthen up a little bit? It's the same feeling here. We're going to press our hands and feet, but we're going to lift our hips and create some space. I want you to really consciously look for ways to make the poses a little more comfortable, a little more spacious. Don't be afraid to be a little organic in your movement. I'm going to throw some cues at you so that you have direction, but I don't want you to take them so fiercely. Take one more breath. Let's push back a little bit. See if you can straighten your knees. That's it. And then just look at your hands and come forward into a plank pose. So just shift your weight forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. And you may have to adjust a little bit. Maybe you have to make a little more space. Maybe you move your feet back a couple of inches. And you want to be on the ball of the foot, so let your toes bend. Push into the ball of the foot. I want you to feel the toe joints. And I want you to stretch the sole of the foot up, heel up over the ball of the foot. There you go. Give me one more breath here. And then don't move anything. Just lift your hips and go back to down dog. So don't walk your feet in. Don't move your hands. Just feel what that feels like. That is your proportion. I know if you walk your feet in, you can get your heels down, but that is not the goal. Stay here in the space and know that you can move into the space under your heels by pressing the legs back, maybe lifting the hips. Give yourself one more breath right here. And then look at your hands again, and this time just walk your feet forward to your hands. Come halfway up, inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, fold. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So come halfway up, inhale, stretch your heart forward, lengthen, and then exhale, fold it back in. That's it, and this one is the last one. Inhale, heart forward, eyes forward, stretch. Exhale, fold, head down. And with that same flat back, I want you to rise to standing. So push down through your feet, lift your head and chest, reach your arms way up to the sky. They must like yoga. Exhale, release your arms. All right, here we go. Inhale, arms reach. And then exhale, fold right back in. Stay right there. Inhale, lengthen. Take your hands and just walk them around to the right. Walk past your heel. Walk your hands just a little bit past your heel and give your lower back a really nice stretch. Head is down. Good, and then kind of like a rainbow, walk around your feet and go all the way around to the other side. Try to walk back behind the heel. Just notice what you're feeling. If you have to bend your knees to touch the ground, that's okay, you can do that. And then walk it back to the center and keep your knees soft. Let's bend the knees a little bit, pull the belly button to the spine. This time tuck your chin in. And then I want you to come up very slowly. Feel each vertebra stacking, one on top of the other. Push down into your feet and then stand tall, make some space. That's it. Inhale, let's reach our arms up. Exhale, forward fold. How you guys feeling? Starting to feel ready to move? Come halfway up, inhale. Let's step back into plank. I want you to hold your plank pose. That's it. And then lift your hips, down dog. And one more time, forward into plank, so no feet and hand moving. That's it. Go ahead, do it again. Lift your hips. And then come forward into plank. Make your stance longer. Feet back. There you go. One last time. Downward facing dog. Stretch. Make some space. Now lift your right leg up. Take it up to the sky. Take a nice deep breath in. And then step that foot right up to your hands. There you go. Stay right there. Make the back leg really strong. When you're ready, I want you to push that left hand down into the earth and give me a really beautiful twist. Open to the right side. Are you breathing? Notice how you're treating yourself. See if you can be a little curious with the movement and not so fierce. Make sure that back leg is really strong. You should be up on the toes of the back foot, so the back foot isn't flat. All the way, heel up behind you. There, isn't that a little better? Yeah. Let's take one more breath. See if you can lower your right hip down just a teeny bit. And then when you're ready, place both hands down, take a big step back, downward facing dog. Yeah, I like it. Take a breath here, and then come forward into plank. We're going to do that 2 more times, just warming up the shoulders, belly to the spine, lift your hips, go back into down dog, stretch a little deeper each time, and then come forward, plank pose, eyes a little forward. That's it, lift the hips, take it back. I think this is the last one. Forward plank. Breathe in. Exhale, take the hips up, and then left leg is going to sweep up behind you. We are stronger than we think. Go ahead, lift your toes, stretch up to the sky, and then left foot steps to the hands. Good, we're going to stay right there. Strengthen the back leg. We're going to keep that right hand down and twist open to the left. Twist in a way that feels really good. There's no real perfect place to be here. It's just the beginning of the practice. Draw the belly to the spine. See if you can work from the inside. There should be a mindfulness to your movements. And then sometimes that left hip starts to jet up into the air, so see if you can take it down just a little bit. Take one more breath where you are, so good. And then eyes go down, hand goes down, and one big step right back into your down dog. That's it. We're just going to stay for one breath. Push back just a little bit. And then if you would, please look forward and walk your feet right up to your hands. Inhale and lengthen. And then exhale, fold, please. Bend your knees, chair pose. Not that we really need the heat to come up. I can feel it already. You guys too? I think you could just stand here and you'd be sweating. You wouldn't even have to do anything, right? All right, so let's just refine this a little bit. Feet should be together. See if you can get your big toes together. And then make your arms really straight. So there's this feeling of sitting down, but also reaching up. So we want the elbows straight. They don't have to come close to the head. They could be open wide and big from the heart. Tip your ears back. Look through your fingers. So if you're looking at your own arms, can you see that they're bent? And then can you reach them just a little bit more? You guys are so good. Take a breath. And then slowly come to standing. Bring your hands right to your heart. All right. Inhale, arms reach. We're going to flow. Exhale, forward fold. We call it Uttanasana. Come halfway up. Inhale. And then step back to plank. You guys know this one. Hold it there. Breathe in. And then bend your elbows and lay your whole body down at once onto the mat. Yes. Inhale into cobra. I want you to keep your legs really long and strong behind you and open your heart big in front of you. Take 2 more breaths there. Just feel the spine. Feel the spine lengthening, extending, reaching, and then exhale, release. Good. Downward facing dog.
Way out in faith and way out in time.
Fingers are spread wide. Breath is still flowing free. And you're just looking for ways to make space. Maybe there's room for space between your fingers. Maybe as you push your hands down, you can lift your hips a little higher. Let your head go so there's no tension in your neck. Take one more breath here. And then look at your hands and start to walk your feet forward. Come halfway up on that inhale. And then fold deeply as you exhale. With a flat spine, rise to standing. Push down to rise up. Lift your head and chest and reach. And then go ahead and draw your hands right to your heart. Again, inhale, arms reach. And exhale, forward fold. Lift and lengthen on the inhale. And then step back to plank and lower. Lower all the way to your belly. Take it all the way down. And then just the heart space lifts. The hips stay on the mat. That's it. Heart is open. Shoulders draw back. Elbows draw in a little narrower. Oh, you guys are doing so good. So you don't want to be on your forearms here. You actually want to be on your hands. Lift your elbows for me. Yeah. Squeeze a little bit here. Take one more breath where you are. And then exhale, release, downward facing dog. Okay. Lift your right leg way up behind you and breathe in. And then as you exhale, I want you to sweep that right foot forward to your hands. Turn the back foot flat and rise for warrior one. We call it Virabhadrasana 1. And a warrior pose is a fierce pose, but I want you to find the actions of the pose while still maintaining a little bit of softness for yourself. The softness is more in your attitude. So the back foot is really grounded, and you want to make sure you're not collapsing the arch of the back foot. So put a little more weight on the pinky toe side of the foot. That's it. I want you to keep focusing on how you're using your left foot, but then bend a little deeper into your right knee. So good. One more breath. Reach a little higher. And then exhale, release. Hands go down. Step back to plank and lower. Take it to the belly. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale back into downward facing dog. Still very mindful of your presence. Still willing, without any judgment, to meet yourself where you are. And be curious about ways that you can make space in your body. It's just a great way to approach this practice. It's called compassion and presence, and these are the things that make this yoga. Let's go ahead, push back just a little bit, and then lift your left leg up. Take it way, way up. Inhale. And as you exhale, step that left foot forward to your hands. Turn the back foot flat, and then rise up. Make sure you're paying attention to how you use that back foot. And you don't want to turn the back foot out too much. Maybe the toes can go a little more forward. Even more. More. That's really good. So you push into the outer edge of that back foot. Maybe lift the arch of that foot. And as you do that, that's a lot of work. You got to keep that connection, but start bending into that left knee a little bit deeper. So bend the front knee now. Yeah, so we're still working the back foot. Don't lose it. And so our foundation becomes quite solid, and then I want you to rise up out of it. Right from the pit of the belly. Get long in the torso. Reach for the sky. Look up at your hands. Yeah, we're reaching up and bending that front knee at the same time. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Take a breath. Exhale, let your hands down to the earth. Step back lightly, and then lower down slowly. Inhale into your cobra, and then exhale back, downward facing dog. And so we do down dog a lot. And so what I really want you to do is be very aware of how you approach the down dog. No tension in the neck. Some strength in the arms. An external rotation of the shoulders. Strong legs pulling you back. Give me one more breath right here. And then go ahead, look at your hands. Start walking your feet back up to the top of the mat. Come halfway up on your inhale, and then fold deeply, exhale. Bend your knees, here comes chair pose, one breath only. And then come to standing, hands right to your heart. So good. We're going to flow it out. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair pose. Each pose has one breath. Exhale, forward fold. When you're ready to inhale, lengthen and lift your chest. On the exhale, both feet go back and lower to the belly. So let all your air out as you come down. Inhale into your cobra, just one breath. And then exhale, touch down dog. Here comes warrior. Right foot steps, left foot turns. One breath, rise up. Give me your most beautiful expression of the pose. And then exhale, come right back down. Hands down, step back, and lower. Good. Cobra on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Left foot steps, right foot turns. Rise on the inhalation. It's one big breath in, and then exhale it all the way out. Hands down, step back, and lower. Good. Inhale, cobra. And then back to down dog for 5 breaths. Woo! How'd that feel? Yeah? We're rocking it. You guys look really, really good. If your wrists hurt, you got to spread your fingers out. You got to take some of the weight out of the wrist and move it into the knuckles and to the nail beds. If our knuckles lift, we're putting a lot of weight into the crease of the hip. So push down to rise up. That's it. Give me one more breath. And then look at your hands. We're going to finish strong. Both feet right up to the top of the mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, one breath only. So good. Come to standing. Reach higher. And then hands to the heart. All right. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold. Fold in deep this time. Grab your ankles. Yep, I want you to feel the weight distribution in your feet. Make sure your feet are really solid on the mat. Spread your toes and make sure the weight feels even all the way from the front to the back and the inside and the outside. Let your head down. That's really, really good. So as you grab your ankles, your elbows can draw in toward your knees. Yeah. And so you're using your biceps a little bit to draw the head down. And if you think you have it in you, I want you to try to press your thighs back away from your belly. Very good. On your next inhale, look up and lengthen. On the exhale, go to plank and hold. Stay in your plank pose. We're going to roll to the right for Vashisthasana. So roll onto your right hand, lift your left arm up to the sky. Find the strength in your center. Lift your hips. Good. And then return to plank. Eyes down, hands down. Hold. Find that breathing, nice and steady. Remember, no judgments. Roll to the left side. Reach the right arm up to the sky. You got to push down to rise up. So use that bottom hand. Push into the earth. Lift the chest. Look up. And then release. Hand back to the mat. Beautiful. Stay right there. Inhale. Bend your elbows, lower slowly as you exhale. Inhale into your cobra. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right. Right foot steps up to the hands. Left foot turns in flat. Give me warrior one. And we spent a lot of time in that first warrior just figuring out how to navigate the footwork. So I want you to pay attention to the base, to the foundation. And know that if you're really in tune with the work you're doing in your feet, you will be able to articulate better movement in your hips. And so ground the feet, and maybe this time we can bring the right hip back a touch and the left hip forward a little. You're never going to get the hips square, so let go of the idea of feeling like you have to, but shine your heart forward. Yes. Now I want you to reach a little higher and sink into that front knee a little lower. That is your full expression of the pose. Go ahead, straighten the front leg now and reach up higher. Release your hands now behind your back and clasp them together. Inhale, extend. We're going to stay here for a breath or two. So both legs are straight. Both legs are straight. Front knee is straight. You want to feel really solid in the base. That's it. Keep noticing the footwork. I want you to keep that chest open And very, very deeply, go ahead and bend the right knee now. Bend it back in. We're coming into humble warrior. Start to fold forward. As your head drops low, take your arms away from your back. Now you can look at your feet. Make sure you still work in the feet in a strong way. Solid base. Right hip back, left hip forward. Now, very gently, you're going to lift your head and look up. Push into your feet. Rise up with a flat back. Very good. Release your arms. Inhale, arms reach. And then exhale, take a vinyasa. Hands down. Step it back and lower. Inhale into your cobra pose. Exhale, pull it back to down dog. And just meet yourself where you are. Again, looking for those ways to make space. Treating yourself with kindness. Fully present for the experience.
You and me.
We can take one more breath here. Push into the outer edges of the feet so the arches lift a little bit. Yeah. All right, when you're ready, warrior on the left side. Left foot steps up, right foot turns in. And we're gonna rise up, and it's a familiar place, so now you have time to articulate a little bit more some of the details. Try not to be fierce about them, just conscious. And so we work our feet. Our feet help us articulate our hips. So now it's left hip back, right hip a little more forward. Be careful of those front ribs. Sometimes they tend to poke. Mine do. And so maybe we try to lift the back ribs a little more. So this more, yes, there. That's so good. We're going to reach really high through the fingertips and start bending that front knee in a little deeper. You guys look amazing. Take a breath. And then if you would, straighten the front leg, release your arms down. Clasp your hands behind you. Reconnect with the work in your feet and start to extend your spine a little bit. The chest comes up, the collarbones are wide, and straighten both of those knees. I really want you to have your legs straight. If you stay in bent knee the whole time, your leg's gonna burn a lot. And so our legs are straight, our heart is lifted, and we're gazing upward. Yes, we are preparing. See if we can get our hips to face forward, our hearts to face forward. That is the secret of the warrior pose, is that our chest plate, our heart is forward in the warrior one. And we are going to now bend humbly to humble warrior. Front knee bending, head comes down, arms start to rise away from your back. I know your muscles are working, your heart is pumping. I want you to breathe. Make it all feel kind of smooth. That's it. And so we're going to come out with some grace. I need you to lift your head first. Make sure the spine is straight. Push down into your feet, and on an inhale, you rise. Take the arms up for your most full expression of warrior. And then exhale, go ahead, flow it out. Hands down, step back, and lower. I like it. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale back for down dog. Push a little more through the right hand and the right foot. Just feel that side come alive, make some space. And then do the same on the other side. Push the left arm, push the left leg, make a little more space on that side. Now one breath, pushing it all. Hands and feet, lift the hips. And then exhale, look forward. You can jump, step, or walk to the top of the mat. Come halfway on your inhale. And then exhale, fold. Okay, bend your knees, chair pose. Hands are going to come to your heart. And I want you to lower halfway, kind of like that humble warrior. Yeah. Keep the fingers at the chest. Sit your hips a little bit lower. And then right elbow is going to go outside the left knee. It helps a lot if those feet are together. You want those feet together. I really like what I see. Beware of leaning too much. We want to make sure we have the same weight on both feet, and the head is drawing toward the center line where your big toes are. Give me one more breath. Drop the hips just a little lower. And then exhale, forward fold. Let it go. Let your head go. Let out a big ah. Yeah. That's good. Let your head go. No tension in the neck. So to hear directions and be able to articulate them in our bodies takes an awareness. And it also takes practice. You guys are really doing an amazing job. Let's try to do that on the other side and notice if there's anything different. Bend your knees, chair pose. Feel the footwork. Is there a way to make a little more space here? Maybe draw the lower belly up and in. Draw the tailbone down a little bit. Hands are going to come to the heart. Press them together equally. And then lower a little bit. The twist is going to go to the other side. So it's left elbow outside right knee. And I really like what I see. You guys are doing a great job. Feel the same amount of weight in both feet. Maybe narrow the sit bones a little bit. You'll engage a little bit more of your Mula Bandha. You'll feel a little stronger. See if you can drop the hips a touch lower and lift the heart a touch higher. Give me one more breath. And then go ahead and let it go. Let out a sound if it feels good. Yeah. All right, you guys are doing amazing. Take a breath here. And then if you would, come up halfway. Inhale. Put your hands on your hips. Exhale. And then with a really flat back, start to rise up. Head up. Chest up. Good. Inhale, arms reach. And exhale, fold in one more time. On the inhale, lengthen. And then fold again, please. All right, chair pose. Hands at your heart center. We're going to feel the weight even on both feet, and we're going to sink down a little lower. That's it. Now, the same thing. We're going to twist. What do we do first? Right elbow outside left knee. Right elbow outside left knee. Now, don't get too carried away with the twist, because I'm going to ask for something else. I want you to then notice the distribution of weight in your feet, and keep a little bit more weight on your left foot, and see if you can bend your right knee and bring your heel toward your bottom, kind of like a flamingo. Just lift your foot, bend your knee. I'm not crazy. It is possible. There we go. Now, if you're feeling really good, stick that leg out behind you, but don't step it down. Hold. Extend the leg back. Oh, I love it. Then go ahead, step it into a lunge, and play with that twist. That's it. Get that elbow in against the leg. Give a little bit more rotation. Take one more breath. And then release. Eyes down, hands down. We're going to take that left leg into a one-leg down dog. Go ahead. Sweep it all the way up behind you. Try not to kick it out. Just float it up in the air. Spread your toes toward the sky. Give me a nice deep breath in. All right. Now, left foot steps all the way forward. Right foot steps all the way forward. Come halfway up. Inhale. And then fold deeply. Exhale. You know what's coming. Chair pose. Hands to heart center. Take it down just a little lower. Feel how the hands press together to help you feel centered. Take your twist to the other side. Left elbow outside the right knee. Pay attention to how you're distributing weight in your feet. We got to keep a little extra weight on the right one so we can lift the left one. So we're twisting to the right side this time. This elbow goes here. Oh, okay, but elbow has to touch. There you go. See if you can extend it out. Hold it, hover. That's it. And then step it back. That was good. That was good. Push your elbow against your leg. Get a little more out of your twist. Are you breathing? You guys are all facing different directions. Take one more breath and then release your hands down. Oh, touch the earth with those hands and then sweep your leg all the way up and have it be a celebration. Oh, we love that one leg down dog. Take a breath here. And now right foot to the hands, left foot to the hands. Halfway up, inhale. Fold deeply, exhale. Here goes chair pose. You got me, Kath. Bend your knees, arms reach. And then come to standing. Draw your hands right to your heart. Pause for a moment. Try to meet yourself exactly where you are. How about an acknowledgement for all that you did? And really, no mind to the places where you felt like you didn't do so well. Because the execution of the pose is really not what this is about. It's your attitude about the whole thing. Yoga never asked anyone for perfection, just consciousness, compassion. We're going to soften our knees now, and we're going to change the rotation. So soft knees. The right leg is just going to take a big step back. Keep your left foot as it is, but straighten your legs. Turn and face the side. Spread your arms like wings. We're going into Trikonasana, triangle pose. That's it. Go ahead, take your left arm down onto your left leg and your right arm up to the sky. How can we create space in this pose? It's not so much about going deeper here. You might even want to come up a little bit so you can lean back, so you can open up and extend your spine. Can you feel that feeling of up dog or cobra going on? Extension in your spine? Nice, El. Open the heart. Now, once you're in alignment, you might be able to slide the left hand down a little bit more. This is how we curiously and lovingly explore the pose. Take one more breath where you are, and then rise up. As you come up, bend your left knee, warrior two. So in warrior two, we're facing the side. That chest plate needs to face out to the side. Hold your head up high, and then turn your gaze to your left fingers. Soften a little bit. Maybe you can bend the front knee and encourage it out a little more toward the pinky toe. Stay right there, and then reverse the warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. I want you to think about the actions of reaching for the sky and at the same time bending a little deeper into that front knee. Feel the down and the up. If you're feeling like you're not fully supported, lift the inseam of the back leg. That's it. Return to warrior two. Let out an ah. And then straighten that front leg again. Ah, so good. Take your arms way up high to the sky. Pivot your left toes to turn in, and then put your hands on your hips. Inhale, extend back, and then exhale, take a forward fold. Again, a moment to meet yourself where you are. Pay attention. I want you to take your hands and walk them around to the left. See if you can walk them outside the heel. Stretching through the kidney band. Both feet grounded. Now bring your hands to the inside of that left foot. Inhale, look up a little bit. And then start bending the left knee. I want you to bend kind of deep into that left knee. And then pivot your right toes up to the sky for Skandasana, the sundial. Very good. Now some of you look like you're pretty happy here, some not so much. So if you feel like you need your hands on the floor, you keep them there. But if you feel like you could take your hands to your heart and find your balance, a little lift from the pelvic floor, then just explore that. Give it one more breath, and then let your hands down. Bring your hips back up to center. Take a breath right where you are, and then walk your hands to the front of your mat. Pivot your feet with you. So walk your hands to your left. Walk them to the front of the mat. That's it. You'll be in a crescent lunge. Turn your toes as you walk your hands to the front of your mat. Pivot up on the back toes. There you go. That should be good. And then step into plank. We know plank. Breathe in here. It's familiar. Exhale, lower to your belly. Inhale into cobra. And then exhale, right back into your downward facing dog. Take a breath. Open mouth. And then look at your hands. Let's take a walk right up to the top of the mat. Both feet come up to the top. Inhale and lengthen. And then exhale and fold. Bend your knees just for one breath. Chair pose. Come to standing, hands at your heart center. Good. Soften your knees, and now the left leg is going to take that step back. So it's kind of a big step. You're going to turn your body to the left, but keep your right toes forward. So keep the right toes facing forward. The front foot is facing the front. Yeah, triangle pose. That front, yes, exactly. So arms spread out like wings. Go ahead and explore your triangle pose. Left arm goes down, right arm goes up. Yep, left arm is up to the sky. And just like we did in all of our poses, just assess your footwork. Make sure you're using all of your toes, lifting a little in the arches, lots of support on the inseams of the legs. And then instead of thinking about how deep you can go in, what about how much you can expand open? Maybe you do a little up dog or cobra in the spine here, a little lengthening of the chest. That looks really good. Make sure you're breathing. And then I want you to draw the belly to the spine and come back up. Bend the front knee. That's warrior two. Same level of consciousness in your legs. Be careful that you don't want to jut your left hip too far forward here. Pull this back or the other way. No. Bend your front knee, but hips go this way. Yeah. And so the goal is to get that hip and that knee away from each other. Right? You feel that? And lift this. Yeah. All right, reverse the warrior. Left arm down, right arm up this time. And there's this beautiful thing going on with the up and the down. So we're reaching for the sky, but we're also bending the front knee and making sure we lift the inseam of the back leg. Look for the up dog or cobra. Look for the extension. Head back a little, chest open a little. Yeah. Return to warrior two. Straighten the front leg. Say, ah. Yes. And then both arms up. Reach for the sky. Pivot your front foot in. Yeah. And then hands to your hips. All right. Inhale. Extend back. This is your grace moment. Exhale. Fold. Take what you need here. A couple of breaths. Let the head down. Let the arms down. Breathe. When you feel ready, we're going to take our hands and just walk around to the, which one? To the right foot. To your front foot. Walk around to the outside of the heel. Both legs are straight here. Maybe shorten your stance up a little bit so you have more stability. Narrow a little bit more. Yeah. You want to be a little pigeon-toed here so both feet feel really grounded. That's it. And then move your hands to the inside. Inhale, look up a little bit, just inside of that right foot. Right here. Because we're going to start bending the right knee, bending deep into the right knee and pivoting the left toes up toward the sky.
Infinite light.
You can keep your hands on the ground if you feel like you need them, or maybe explore hands at the heart center. Lift a little at the pelvic floor. Just because we can sit down in there doesn't mean that we should. We want to pull ourselves upward. That's really good. The energy of the park just went flat. So guys, put a smile on your face, take another breath, and release your hands, and then release your pose. Come back to center. Hang there for a moment. It's not that bad. We're going to look at the front of the mat. Start walking our hands forward. Pivot your feet as you turn to the front. That's it. Take a step back into plank pose and lower yourself down slowly. Inhale into cobra and then exhale back for down dog. Breath is steady. Let's walk our hands to the back of the mat. As your hands walk toward your feet, I want you to open your feet a little bit wider And then turn your toes out slightly so that you can take a deep squat down at the back of the mat. Feet are wide, toes are wide. Yeah. There we go. And there's a relationship here between the push and the pull. The elbows push the knees out a little, but the knees squeeze in on the elbows a little. Can you feel that? Yeah, I want you to lift your pelvic floor a little bit too. So we're not sitting heavy in the pose, we're lifting. That's it. Now, keep the elbow and the knee relationship the same, but start extending your arms wide and see if you can touch your fingertips to the floor. Go wide, wide outside your feet. Go into the grass or onto the cement. And then lift your chest a little higher. That's it.
I'm related to the tree here.
So we're squeezing a little on the elbows are pressing out, and then I want you to lift again on the pelvic floor. That's it. That doesn't seem so crazy, does it? Then release your hips back down, bring your hands back to your heart, and then let's take Bakasana. The hands are going to go right in front of you, only shoulder distance apart. Keep that same relationship between your knees and your elbows. Here, Mark's doing it in the front, so I don't have to. A little pressure there, right? And so we're going to keep looking forward. As you squeeze your knees onto your arms, you're going to lift your pelvic floor and then see if you can pick your feet up. Maybe you can even touch your toes together. Keep looking forward. Don't look at your feet. You can touch your toes together without looking at them. Yep, they will find each other. That's it. Excellent. Thank you for trying. The fun is always in the trying. Once you get it, then you got to go on and do something else, right? Then you got to do it with one leg, then you got to do it in a twist. So it's really nice just to try. Just take that step in. That's it. Beautiful. All right, let's come back down. Come into a forward fold at the back of the mat. Release your knees, release your hips and your head. Grab your opposite elbows. Yeah. Sway a little side to side. Okay, when you're ready, release your hands down. Walk your hands just a little bit forward and then come down onto your hands and knees. So you're going to kind of crawl onto the mat. Just put those knees down. Good. All right. Cross your ankles and then have a seat behind your feet. You should be sitting at the back of the mat. That's it. And your ankles are crossed. You're sitting in like simple cross legs. And I want you to leave your left leg as it is, but just take the right leg. Just kind of lift it up in front of you. And what I notice happens when we lift that leg up is almost always we sink into our lower back. So as you lift your leg up, I also want you to lift your chest up. See if you can cradle the right foot into the left arm. Maybe even use your elbows to hook around it. Just feel what's going on in your hip there. I love flexing the foot so the arch of my foot goes around the bicep, and then I pull the shin up to my chest. At the same time, I sit up tall. Yep, you could even do this. That works too, right? So if you guys can't see, if you can't get the arch of the foot on the bicep, you could actually hook your arms under and hold it like that. You might feel a little stronger. Yeah. You making fun of me? Just stand up and do it, right? I didn't make you stand up and do it. You guys get to sit and do it. Okay, now, you have that right foot in the right position. We're holding it up. We feel, anyone feel some work going on out there? Yeah? Okay, so we know that that's doing the work. Let's hold that. But take your left foot and just wiggle it a little bit forward, a little bit, and then flex your ankle. Good. Now, take the right heel and put it on the left knee. And let the right knee drop down. So you're in a double pigeon. Make sure that that left one didn't sneak back under. You want to make sure that that bottom heel is forward. Yep. Yep, that's part of the problem of being in the front row. The teacher sees. There you go. All right. Bring your hands to prayer. Close your eyes. Try to make peace with what's going on in your hips. So when we're moving dynamically, and we're breathing, it's kind of easy to fudge our way through some of the tough spots. But here I'm asking you to sit in it, just for a little. Just pay attention to what comes up for you. And so this is a little bit more challenging to meet yourself where you are, here. Can you do this with no judgment? And you know, it's not always judgment on yourself. It's not always like you get mad at your body for not cooperating. Very often you just choose to project it out on me. Like the crazy teacher asking me to do this stuff. And so instead of taking it on yourself, you push it out. And they're both fine. They're both human. The important thing is that you notice. And so again, just try to meet yourself where you are without any judgment. Catch yourself in your habits. Start to observe the dialogue that's existing inside of your own head. Now, if you have had enough, you can start to come out, but do it slowly and with grace. If you feel like you are just getting started, I want you to take a forward fold. Just bow your head humbly forward. It's going to change things. And we're not going to stay long. I'm going to give you 2 breaths only. And then on your next inhalation, start to rise up, head up, chest up. We're going to release the top leg straight out in front, and then the bottom leg too. Just give me a big ah. Try not to shake them out. Let them be. And then we're going to come in and do the other side. So it started in simple cross legs. This time you're going to take a hold of the left one and just love it a little bit. Lift it a little higher, cradle it like a child, like a little baby. Move it around a little bit, get curious with your hip. This is how we learn to navigate our body. You pay attention to how you feel. You don't do anything that's mean or uncomfortable. You be sensitive. And maybe you can lift the shin a little, and at the same time, the really most important thing is to lift the spine up. Get a little taller. And then that bottom leg, the right foot now is going to wiggle a little forward, and I need you to flex the ankle. And then you're going to place that left ankle right onto the right knee. You can put your hands behind you if it helps you to sit up a little bit straighter, because you really don't want to sink into your lower back. Hands can be in prayer or hands behind you. Make sure you're flexing your ankles so you're protecting the ankle, the knee, and the hip. There's joint reaction forces here that are all kind of being pulled in ways they're not used to. And so if we can just create a little bit of stability from the ankle, it translates all the way up to the knee and to the hip. So flex those feet. Meet yourself where you are. Treat yourself well. Cultivate the skill of becoming more comfortable in an uncomfortable situation. Notice your facial expression and the quality of your breath. And you know, if you get to a point where you know the truth is that you need to come out, that this is being forced and it doesn't feel well, then you know you can come out. But if you're okay where you are, I'm going to encourage you maybe to stretch forward. as the weight shifts forward, the pose changes a little bit, so be sensitive. Let your hands go down. Don't force it. One more breath. And on your next inhale, I want you to rise up slowly. Take the top leg out. Bring it right out in front of you. And then take the bottom leg out. Let's go wide. Go as wide as the mat. Soften the knees a little bit. Not wider, just as wide as the mat. Yep, soften the knees a little bit. And then fold forward. Let your head down. Humble moment. Try to smooth out the breathing. And I want you to pull the belly to the spine and start to rise up. And as you do, bend your knees, put the soles of your feet flat on the mat. We're going to come into boat pose. You guys all know that one. You're going to lean back just a little bit, lift the chest a little bit higher, and see if you can take your feet off the mat. Reach your arms forward and make sure you're breathing. And I want you to tighten up the core a little bit more. And then go to the sacrum. Go flat on the back. Extend your legs. So it's called canoe. Yep, a little lower. The lowest part of your back on the mat. Go to your sacrum. Go down a little lower. You're strong enough. Do it, do it, do it. Take one breath there, and then let it go. Lay it down. Really, let the feet go, let the hands go. Let's draw our knees right up into the belly. Rock a little bit side to side. And rock a little bit more to the right this time. Take it all the way to the right now and come into spinal twist. Knees all the way to the right, chest wide open to the sky. Turn your head to the left. Soften a little bit. Start to let go of the physical work. Look more for the grace and the breath. Think about ways that you could create space. And then we're going to turn our head to the center. Bring our knees right up to the center and rock a little bit side to side. Again, just across the kidney band, a little bit of love. Rock a little more to the left and hover there for a second. And then let your knees go all the way. Open your heart wide up to the sky and look out to the right. Let go of the struggle. Again, just meeting ourselves right where we are. And honoring that just the way it is. No judgment. Maybe a little compassion. And knowing that every experience of your life somehow divinely puts you right here in this park today. Let's go ahead and bring our knees right back up to the center. Hold on to the right one and extend your left leg all the way out and down. Give yourself a teeny bit of push and pull. And then switch sides. Again, just an equal amount of push and pull. And then both knees right in. You're going to place the soles of your feet right down onto the mat with your feet together. Let your knees drop open. Take your arms up over your head. Feet are together, knees open wide. Just breathe. Let it all wind down. When you feel ready, you can bring your arms down and your legs down and settle into a more neutral position for Shavasana. So I want you to stay still for a moment, but just start to notice your breath. Shavasana is the ultimate pose for meeting yourself exactly where you are. And my hope is that this place feels a little different than when we started. And so I think it's worthy of acknowledging the stillness, the peacefulness. When you feel ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, begin to awaken your physical body. And we're going to bring ourselves back to a seated position, just like when we started. Close your eyes and notice your breath. One of the most amazing things about meeting yourself where you are is that you really get to know yourself in all the different aspects. And there's always going to be things that we find that maybe we don't like so much, and maybe there's going to be some things we find that we really do. And then with this wisdom, could we begin to cultivate being a little bit more like the part we like? Could we put our attention and our focus there? Could we honor and cultivate the things about us that make our light shine so bright? And choose to bring that out into our relationships, into the world. And the work begins with just simply meeting yourself where you are. Noticing when you are that light. And also being brave and courageous enough to notice when you're not. Let's go ahead and close the practice with that beautiful sound of Om. So we're going to take one nice deep breath in, and then together we'll sound A-U-M when you're ready. Namaste, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much for coming out, everyone. Happy Saturday. It's so good to circle back home. There's no place like home. And so, as always, I have information to share with you. There are 2 clipboards going around that I need you to sign in on. So if you haven't found the clipboards and you haven't signed in, please find them. I also have a clipboard up here to be on my email list if you would like to be aware of what's happening in the community. If things like last week happen and we are going to have to cancel the class, we can send out an email blast and let you guys know what's going on. I have a yin yoga teacher training next weekend. There's only 2 spots left. If you're interested in learning more about this long, slow, deep practice, that will be a weekend workshop. And today is the first day I'm actually announcing my fall teacher training. The 200-hour Vinyasa teacher training is starting October 4th. So if anyone is interested in exploring this practice in more depth, you don't have to become a teacher, but you will be prepared to teach. Sometimes we just want to explore this practice for ourselves. I'm doing something special this time. We're going to end the teacher training with a week retreat in Costa Rica. It's all included in your tuition. So it's 7 days in Costa Rica to do all of your testing. So it's October 4th to December 15th. If you're interested in doing the teacher training and retreat this fall, come and see me. And India, coming up September 2nd. And so I have just a little bit of space for that too. I have car magnets and a couple of passes if you're interested in coming to see me at the studio. I don't have too many passes today, just a few. So come sign in. Yeah, that's the email list. Just print clearly, yeah. Yes. Here's a pass. Okay. Yeah, that you stick on your car. Yeah, so you are a yoga journey girl. So good to see you after all these years, right? Mwah.